There's that man again.
Spring, summer is upon us. You got your starter kit yet? I got 8 of them here that may actually help you out. Stay tuned. What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the Teddy Files. I'm your resident sommelier, Mr. Dearest Teddy. And today we're going to talk about the spring-summer starter kit. What do I mean by that? I mean, for me, the best fragrances that you can kick off your spring and summer with, fragrances that just put you in that beautiful mood that the actual summer weather brings. And I also have been told by the producer, hey man, lighten it up a little bit. You're not talking about or giving a dissertation. You're just talking about fragrances. It's supposed to be a happy thing. And you know what? She was absolutely right. Sometimes I can come off a little bit stiff. So I'm going to loosen it up a little bit. So we're going to come up with the first fragrance today. And that, to me, is one of the newer ones in my collection. But honestly, it has become one of my absolute favorites. I always find myself sniffing on this fragrance. I sniffed on it the entire winter. And I am so glad that spring and summer has come along so that I don't just have to sniff on it. I can actually wear it. And that is Breoni. Eclat. Maybe it'll focus, maybe it won't. Hey, we know what it is. So look, this fragrance right here is a clean, fresh grapefruit fragrance. You know what? I also said I'm going to stop spraying it in the air. And I almost did it. But man, I got some new fragrances in and I sprayed them in the air and I remembered Macy's counter. I got to chill with that. But this one right here is a beautiful grapefruit aldehydic fragrance that is perfect for the transition from the spring into the summer. It works for both seasons. It is a absolutely amazing fragrance. This fragrance right here, Mrs. Grizz, she actually sprayed some on her hand and just kept walking around sniffing it. That's how good this fragrance is. And oh, by the way, we already know magnetic cat. Men are big kids, and this is something to play with. But in all honesty, great scent, great for this time of year. So if you have not gotten your nose on this one yet, I suggest that you find a way to get a decant or go right down here in the description box once I'm done with this video or once you see this video. Make sure you get your hands on and do not pass go with Breoni Eclat. So the next fragrance that we have is fresh, clean, and spicy. And it's one of my favorite fragrances for this time of year, and that would be Murdoch London Black Tea. Now with this fragrance right here, we're talking about cloves, basil, leather, musk, woodsy. This is a very clean, non-offensive, very inoffensive fragrance that you can wear in the office. You can wear in any kind of situation, basically. Now I wouldn't say this is might be the best thing for a date night fragrance, but once again, people can wear fragrances whenever they want. I've worn this on date night, and Mrs. Grizz actually greatly appreciated it because it's one of her favorite fragrances as well. Now, once again, I'm not going to spray them in the air, but this is it's a very, very, very clean and just airy fragrance. A very airy fragrance. It puts you in the mind almost of a fougere, but not quite a fougere, because it doesn't have the harsh, let's just say citrusy opening. I mean, the opening on this one is Madagascar cloves, nutmeg, pepper, and basil. So it doesn't really have any citruses in it. It has one middle note of leather, It has musk, woodsy notes, and birch. Those are the base notes. And how they achieved this, though, the freshness, the cleanliness of it is absolutely amazing. But you don't have to take my word for it. Once again, I'm going to put it in the description box, and you can find out for yourself. This is a hidden gem, and I believe that a lot more people should be talking about Murdoch London black tea. So the next fragrance that I have coming up is aromatic, warm, and spicy, and it's called a sport, but I don't think it's very much a sport fragrance at all, and that would be Tommy Hilfiger Freedom Sport. Now this one right here, it's a little bit strange. Number one, because the original Freedom, Tommy Hilfiger Freedom, it smells more sporty than this. This fragrance right here is earthy. It's a lot more. Let's just say it's more grown up than the original. Now the original is very, very aromatic. It's very, very clean, crisp. Has the citrus top notes and things of that nature. This one right here is a little bit different because with this one you got clary sage, green notes, and coriander as your top notes, which don't come off quite as fresh. It comes off green. And this has a more refined smell to it. Definitely not, to me, not a sport fragrance. A good fragrance, something that I'm going to get a good amount of wears out of. But once again, it's not a sport fragrance to me. So I'm not going to tell these people how to name their fragrances, but for me, the original Freedom is the sport fragrance, and this should just be called Freedom Night, because this is definitely a great summertime date night fragrance. It's one that I actually will be wearing on a date night very soon when me and Mrs. Grizz decide to go out on the town. And it might be one you want to get your hands on as well, and that would be Tommy Hilfiger Freedom Sport. And the next fragrance that I have coming up is a hidden gem. It was something that I saw on, I believe it was Fragrance Net. I said, you know what, I'll give it a try. I like the notes, and it is fresh, clean, earthy. It, to me, is one of the better inexpensive blind buys that I've had so far in 2024. And that would be Marina de Bourbon or Marina of Bourbon. And the fragrance is Mouger Le Prince Elegant. This fragrance here, saying it shocked the hell out of me would be an understatement. I expected it to be nice. I expected it to be pretty good. And even if it was something that wasn't really for me, I knew a few people that I know would probably take it off my hands. They're not getting this. They won't be getting this. I mean, you have the cool mint, you have the cooling mint at the top, number one, and then you got that almost it's an elegance of the violet leaf geranium, that creaminess of that sandalwood, that earthiness of the vetiver. This fragrance is so well rounded and so well blended. It almost has a Bleu de Chanel vibe without smelling exactly like that. But this fragrance right here, to me, is something that you should probably experience in your collection. So I will once again leave it in the description box so you guys can pick it up for yourself. But it's gonna be hard for you to go wrong with this one, man. Very, very mass-pleasing fragrance, and honestly, it has a boldness to it. It almost says, "Damn it, now here I am, and you're gonna like what I smell like." And if that's what it's saying, it damn sure didn't lie about that. Mouger Le Prince Elegant. So the next fragrance that I have coming up is citrusy and woodsy, and this poor fragrance don't get no love. Why y'all don't be giving this fragrance no love? Because this fragrance is actually pretty good, and that would be Ralph Lauren's Big Poney Blue. I mean, for a fragrance with a 3-note breakdown, it is very good. It works pretty well in the high heat. It's definitely good for the spring because it has almost a little bit of sweetness to it without being sweet at all. It has like a smidgen of sweetness to it. I mean, you especially off the top, you get that lime. I mean, it has a 3-note breakdown. It got lime, grapefruit, and oak. And to me, the way that they blended this is perfect. I mean, this is a great transitional fragrance. It's perfect fragrance to transition you from the spring into the summer, being able to wear this in absolutely both seasons, because this will work in the high heat. Now, you don't, what I'll say is this: you don't have to really monitor your sprays, but I would say for me, I monitor my sprays no matter what the hell I put on. So I'm not going to overspray any damn thing because, yeah, I don't want to choke anybody out. I'm not saying that this is going to choke anybody out, but for me, this is a perfect transitional fragrance. So I don't know why people don't give this any love. I don't know why it's hated on, but it ain't hated on by me. And I'm going to make sure I put it in the description box so you guys, instead of listening to all of the rigmarole and whatever the hell everybody else is saying, even what I'm saying, experience it for yourself. It's an inexpensive fragrance. It doesn't cost very much at all. And try it out for yourself. If you don't like it, I'm pretty sure there are a lot of fragrance groups in different places, and maybe some people that you know that you can either gift it to or sell it to. But for me, this is something that will be in my rotation for this spring and summer, and that would be Ralph Lauren's Big Poney. So the next fragrance that I have coming up, to me, is Summertime Elegance in a Bottle. It is minty, it is citrusy, and that would be Atkinson's Mint Tonic. So this fragrance right here is, to me, the epitome of summertime elegance. It is one of the absolute best mint fragrances, mint forward fragrances I have ever smelled. I mean, the mint comes out of this fragrance so boldly and so brash, but also in a very classy and sophisticated way. I mean, this is, to me, what can symbolize sophistication in the summer. It's a very, very immaculate fragrance. I mean, you got your top notes, you got mint, you got lime, you got grapefruit. I mean, you also have some ginger in here, some vetiver in here, some cedar. I mean, it is, once again, very, very well blended. I mean, this is by Atkinson's. These guys have been making fragrances, I believe, since about 1799. So I think they may know what they're doing by now. I'm not sure why this fragrance house isn't talked about very much, but as far as here on this channel, the more Atkinson fragrances, and so far I have 2 or 3, the more of them that I get, the more I realize that this is a fragrance house that actually needs to be represented, because this is extremely elegant, extremely elegant. This is, I'm not going to say masterpiece, because I still have many things to smell, many things to connect with. But to my nose, this epitomizes spring and summer in the most elegant way, and that would be Atkinson's Mint Tonic. So the next fragrance that I have is very woodsy, very musky, and it almost achieved legendary status because people were talking about this damn thing in corners, like, hey, have you smelled, have you heard of, or all of this types of stuff. I'm like, well, damn it, I have to smell it. I've heard of it by now, but yeah, it's not legendary. They just didn't have it in stock. But the moment that it came into stock, I got my hands on it, and that would be Afnon White. Now, if you don't like a musky fragrance, don't buy this, because this is very musky. Honestly, you would almost think that musk was the top note in this fragrance, but the actual top notes are violet leaf, patchouli, and oak moss. And you get a good amount of the oak moss, you get a good amount of the middle notes of the ambergris. You get a slight bit of the amber that actually balances it out pretty good. But for me, to my nose, This is a musk-heavy fragrance. Very musky, very masculine fragrance. It is it's not to be played with. Now, to me, I'm not going to say it's mass appealing, but I don't see too many people that smell this on you that would say that they don't like this fragrance, because it's definitely, to my nose, it actually tickles my nose. It tickles my fancy. I like this fragrance, man. It's a really good fragrance. I've been putting the atomizer. I haven't worn it yet. I don't know the longevity. But from what I've done, as far as spraying it on my hand, didn't test the length at that time, just kind of getting it on skin to see what it did. And its magic item out of the atomizer, it is extremely, let's just say it opened up on skin like a masterpiece. And I'm not sure if it's cloning anything. I don't give a damn if it's cloning anything. What I know is, to me, this right here, spring, summer, if you like musky, manly fragrances, man, go out there and find you a bottle. Or, you know what? I'll find it for you and I'll put it in the description box. And that would be Afnon White. So the last fragrance that I have up is citrusy, warm, and spicy. And I've worn it at least 2 or 3 times since I got it, and I haven't had it very long. That will let you know just how much I like this fragrance, and that would be Nichane Wulong Child. This is a very, very unique fragrance, because it's a citrusy as far as the notes go, because it has bergamot, orange, mandarin, and I believe that is, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. Litsi Kabeba, I guess. I don't know. But I also do know that in the middle notes it has oolong tea and nutmeg, and it has fig and musk. But to my nose, this is very white floral heavy. Very white floral heavy. But not white floral to the point to where it is overpowering and you cannot wear it as a man. Now, to some people it may lean feminine, but not to me. To me, I believe it has an exquisite balance. Nichane does fragrances. They just do them right. That's the best way I could describe it. They just do fragrances right. I mean, the perfect acidity of this fragrance that is, once again, to me, dominated by the freshness and the vibrance of those white florals and that calming of the oolong tea that you get somewhere in the mid-range of wearing this. And then as it starts to dry down, you get that musk. You don't really get a lot of the sweetness from the fig. I think the fig is more of a balancing agent than anything. But once again, to me, the white florals pop off this one. And then when you start getting into the calmingness of the oolong tea and a few of the spices like the nutmeg and things of that nature, this fragrance is awesome, man. This fragrance is awesome. When I sprayed it on the strip, my first thought was, I think I may have made a mistake here. But once again, I have learned, being in this fragrance community, on skin is always on skin. No matter where else you spray it, on skin will always be on skin. And put this on your skin and see for yourself if oolong tea or oolong cha, or maybe Wulong Child, I'm gonna get that right. Maybe Wulong Child would be a pretty good choice for your spring summer vibes. Well, everyone, that is my time. Thank you for coming over here and listening to this spring summer starter kit. And please leave a comment in the comment section and let me know, is this a great spring summer starter kit for you, or do you have your own? I would love to hear about it. And once again, I thank you for rocking with me the way that I rock with you guys. And remember to like, share, and subscribe to the content, because it helps the channel to grow. And make sure you hit that bell icon so that you can get notified every time that I upload a video. Because I am Mr. Dearest Teddy, your fragrance sommelier. And over here, we don't do sting. So please, don't be a sting ass. Good night.